So hello guys, and welcome to another video. So in this one, having seen the features of the Verbit account, I would like now to show you the general guidelines. So hizi ni zile rules ambazo company inataka you as a transcriber to follow when you are doing any file on this platform. So I'll just show you the general guidelines. So general guidelines ni kama hii hapa. So this general guideline, they're just basic guidelines that the company applies to all transcriptions. So you as a transcriber, you are requested to read these instructions and rules and follow them carefully. So easy instructions hapa, they are not so many, they're just 5 pages. Unafaa uzisome na uzielewe so that unaweza zitumia kwa kazi ukipata kazi. So kwa Verbit kunakuwa na guidelines mbili. Kuna hii general guidelines na kuna job specific guideline. So job specific guideline ni ile guideline yenye ukichagua kazi hapa then utaziona ukifungua hii kazi. For example, uchukue hii kazi uclaim hii kazi, utaiona hiyo guideline hapo. So it's a customer guideline, so inaitwa job specific guideline. So those job specific guidelines they are more or less zinakwambia hii kazi nataka ifanywe aje, but general guidelines is just as the name suggests, they're just general guidelines. So hii general guidelines hukuwa na instruction then inakupatia example. So for example hapa itakwambia that there are two main categories of guidelines. We have clean read and verbatim. So please remember to that for every job we also have job specific guidelines that take precedence. So jinsi nimesema tu hapo, hizi kuna job specific guidelines zenye zinapewa more priority than these general guidelines, but remember that general guideline and job specific guidelines bado zina work together pamoja. So for example utapata, for example kama hapa general guideline itasema that words like so at the beginning or at the start of the sentence are also not filler words. If a speaker begins many of his thoughts with the word so, then you can likely omit it. However, if the word so could be replaced with the therefore and maintain the meaning, you should leave it in. For example, so it should be clear to you how humans evolved from apes. So for example kwa hii sentence hapa it's clear that guideline inatuambia that in clean read jobs, so kazi zenye ni za clean read we should avoid kwanza sentence with the word so, unless you the word so imetumika kama the word therefore. But utapata kwa job specific guideline kama customer ana request that kazi zake unaweza anza tu na the word so. So customer akisema unaweza anza na the word so, so hiyo ni kwa job specific guideline, then itabidi umeanza sentences with the word so. So that's why what we mean by the job specific guideline, they take precedence over the general guidelines, but now you still use them hand in hand. So having said that, each general guideline you don't have to cram it. So this general guideline you just have to understand it and then you apply it where possible. So for example hapa iko na rules za clean read, then iko na rules za verbatim. So you'll find some other things, for example like audio rules. Itasema that if a job is 80% or more in a foreign language, you should unassign that job to the due to the reason unsupported language. So when that happens, you have to follow that. You don't have to cram that rule. So, and then you'll find some other rules, for example like punctuation rules. So these are guidelines that will guide you in punctuating your work. So they'll tell you when to use the Oxford comma. So for example, the guideline will request you that you use the Oxford comma in list of 3 or more items by placing a comma before the word and. So they will give you an example. I bought apples, pears and blueberries. So hii comma yenye imewekwa hapa, this is the Oxford comma. So the guideline requests you that kama kuna a list of 3 items, for example apples, pears, blueberries, so before the word and utaweka comma. So that's how you interpret this guideline. You first read the statement, then itakupatia example. And for example, if you go to capitalization rules, utaona for example linasema hapa first word of a sentence or quote, then wamekupatia hapa example. So wanamaanisha that you should capitalize first word of a sentence or quote. So for example, then he said let's go fly a kite. So hapa the T is capitalized and L is capitalized. So that's how you interpret this guideline. So for example, again, the names of people should be capitalized. So for example, John Smith. Also you should capitalize spelled out terms. For example, mtu akispell jina yake ama spell jina ya company ama spell tu jina ya kitu, unafaa uandike in all caps and then unaweka hizo dashes hapo. Then you should also capitalize the names of books, and also the religious terms has to be capitalized. And then also you'll find some other writing rules here. For example, they're telling you email, not e-mail. So unajaribu kuambia ukipata place yenye mtu ametumia email, utaiandika kama email without using the dash. Also the word all right inaandikwa in 2 words, not in 1 word. So usiandike all right in 1 word. Also the word okay should be written in full, not the initials. And then also other words such as 24/7 should be written using the backward slash. Then also percent should be written in words, not in symbol. So that's how you interpret this guideline. And then they also give you an example. Now going to the last page, you'll see some other instruction, for example for numbering. So unakwambia the numbers which are between 0 to 9 zinaandikwa in words. So for example 0, 6, 7, but numbers which are 10 and above, they are written in numericals. And also numbers which are millions, billions, trillions, if it's 0 to 9, it's written in words, then the word million. So usiandike 9 million with so many zeros. So you just write the word 9, then the million. Also if it's 10 and up, now you write in numerical with the word million. Now for example this one, if we're talking about years and someone says I was born in the 70s, so this is how you write I was born in the 70s. So this is how you write 70s. You put the little apostrophe there. And if someone says March 26th 2018, you write March 26th 2018 with the ordinals. But if someone says April 1 2001, you don't write April 1st 2001, you just write April 1 2001. So you should always follow the guidelines. And then also this guideline said that there are some exceptions. So for example this one said 0 to 9 should be written in words, but if you come here to mathematical equation, utaona here we have 20 plus 4 times 0.5 is equals to 22. So 4 is less than 10, but inaandikwa in numericals because these are mathematical equations. So if there's a mathematical equation, you can give that an exception, uandike hapo kwa numericals. And that also occurs with special cases such as list of numbers, range of numbers, and also some other large numbers. So that's how you interpret the guideline. And remember that this guideline is not to be crammed. You just need to just read it and understand it, then you will apply it. So that's the general overview of the guideline. In another video we will go deep into the guideline and we'll read it word to word and see what's up. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope it helped.